Everybody, today's matchup features two teams eager to come away with a late season win. It's the Ravens going up against the Steelers. So with the call of this week 16 matchup, let's hand it over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Today, it's an AFC North matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in off a loss last time out, but still in the midst of a great season, winners of 8 of their last 10. Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they're in a real groove of late, winners of 5 of their last 6 games. Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They're led by their veteran quarterback in his 9th year now out of Delaware. It's Joe Flacco.
Started the first game of his rookie year and then didn't leave the lineup for a long time before suffering a knee injury and has rehabbed and made his way back. If you want a guy who can throw the long ball, you want Joe Flacco in your lineup.
They come out here in the eye. First carry for Justin Forsett. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Again, they run. Again, it's Forsett. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Third down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Now the longtime Raven punter, Sam Cook, on to punt it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Marcus Wheaton. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And when you talk about the best quarterbacks in the NFL, you have to talk about Ben Roethlisberger, and he's used to competition. Remember the class he came out of in 2004 with Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers also available.
How many do you think envisioned the greatness of that class at the time?
I don't think to the levels that we've seen. Potential, no doubt. But how many Super Bowls collectively have these guys won?
On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true #1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat them.
Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And he's got the hook up to Brandon LaFell. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So the offense needing 4 yards. It's 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear. But here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th. 4th down. Here's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic. And Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
He's going to go. Justin Forsett. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Justin Forsett, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And And the Steelers set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Well, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
We've played a quarter here on Christmas Day. 7-all is the score. More from the Steel City coming up after this. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Brown, the lone receiver, left. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Brandon LaFell, the intended receiver. And it's third and short.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And he's going to go out of bounds at the 30-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there and also a first down.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Here's Roethlisberger. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And he rifles one incomplete. Brandon LaFell, his intended target, and it's third down. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. On third down, Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete as well. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end. And that brings up fourth down. So on fourth down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And that is no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Second down, Flacco now. And it's hauled in by Ben Watson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On first down, this is 4th set. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
Room here to run. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
And now a first down following that long gain. Following the penalty, it's 4th set. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
They'll run it here. This is Buck Allen. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Now Flacco. And he's got his man on the out route. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out? In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And over the middle, it's LaFell. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now they're in the hurry-up. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw. Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And that is incomplete. He was trying to go back to LaFell, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that will knot us up at 10. So a good kick that time, and he's able to redeem himself from the previous miss.
And fortunately for him, he got the chance to do that not long after missing the first time. Sometimes a whole game goes by, and you don't get that chance at all. So you keep it with you till the next time you take the field.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
On second down, Flacco to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
On second down for Seth. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14. Third down now following the run.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Ravens defense now as they get ready for the next possession. All even, we are tied, so a blank slate. Throw away those first 2 quarters, so to speak.
Yeah, I love the way you put it because you do throw them away because it's a 0-0, but you also have a couple of lessons from the first half. What did you learn? What do you have to improve on? And then you get to start the second half and put it all into practice.
They'll try to take those halftime lessons and put them into practice indeed. Here we go. On second down, Roethlisberger. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
Pass interference. Defense.
So pass interference, partner with all the rule changes. It is hard to be a defender in the pass game.
Brandon, is tough in college. It's a lot harder in the NFL. You can't touch him after 5 yards downfield. You can't touch him while the ball's not in the air. You can't touch him at all until the ball is at the receiver's hands. Very difficult to be a defender in today's NFL.
Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third down.
Could be a blitzer.
Now it's Roethlisberger, and he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. 35 yards that time on the punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Play fake to force it. Now Flacco backing up. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Ricardo Matthews. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on second down.
3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. 3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. The 38-year-old veteran. How does he do it? James Harrison in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded at the 27. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And a right side completion here by LaFell. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 49 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this. But run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And here we go on 1st and goal. They'll try and run it in with Bell. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. When it's 1st and goal from that close inside the 5, do you like running the toss or pitch to the outside?
I think some teams feel like they have a little more room, and it enables them to do that. If I know, flip it over to the other side. You just
and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Steelers are going to take the lead. He's giving him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a large yardage possibility.
So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. Flacco fakes the give, sets to throw, finding time. Look at the time. Looking here for Smith downfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Mitchell.
That's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Bryant with a catch right side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. We are off to the fourth quarter here on this special Christmas Day broadcast. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Fresh set of downs here.
Right. Push him back. Left 5. 57.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. And this is incomplete.
Holding offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. They get 25 yards out of that one. And it'll give the Steelers a first down.
Remember how much we enjoyed watching him last week?
It's the same thing this week. Look at those numbers.
I'd hate to be a defender right now because no matter what they're throwing at him in terms of coverages, he's finding ways to defeat it. And even when he's covered, he's not covered. Hey, what is he doing? What's that term they use? He's uncovering and making big catches. Really fun to watch.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll come out in the pistol. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And complete into the arms of LaFell. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Roethlisberger now to throw on third down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Kamale Correa, the rookie from Boise State, in there to bring him down, and it'll be a play to remember for that young man. The first sack of his NFL career. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So the folks on hand here growing a little restless with their kicking game. That's now 2 misses so far.
And in a tight game, fourth quarter, the fans aren't the only ones getting restless, Brandon. There were a few looks of disbelief on that sideline as well.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
On second down, Flacco to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Rashad Perryman is just gifted athletically, and I know we got a scare back in, what was it, June? We thought maybe a second knee injury, might miss a second year, but he came back, and he came back strong.
You played with his dad, didn't you?
Yeah, I played against his dad in college, and he turned out to be a heck of an NFL player. But Rashad, he's got a chance to really be special.
First and 10 here for Flacco. And it's grabbed by Crockett Gilmore. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. 22 yards on the pickup there. And that'll be good for a Baltimore first.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. And
a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Flacco here on second down. He's got time. His throw caught at about the 5. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. And quickly, they get to the line. He'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Kamar Aiken, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game.
Love the excitement we've got going here. If they just scored the touchdown, they're down by 1. How much fun is it now to figure out the possibilities? Kick the extra point and tie it. Go for 2 if they're really feeling in a gambling mood. What do you do in this situation?
I think you kick the PAT.
Yeah, I do too. Kick it, get my defense ready, and try and stop them one more time.
And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. That time a 6-play drive, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This is taken near the 13. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
Well, so much for the worry about how they would be after losing their lead. What a big-time return to seize the momentum back.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Offense.
And, of course, the defense is going to accept this penalty. Brown, the lone receiver, left. Now it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Second down now after the incompletion. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. He's got time in the pocket. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And now it's third down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Roethlisberger to throw. Man open left side is Brown. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. 4th down. Here's Roethlisberger. And that's complete to LaFell. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Bryant spread out to the right. Here's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Setting to throw, Flacco. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Well, time not on their side here. In fact, a lot going against them. They do have a small glimmer of hope.
No one likes to play extra football. They want to go for the win right now.
Pressure mounting. Flacco dumps it off to Forsett. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Flacco surveying the field. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic, this is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
And he finds his man, Kamar Aiken. And a nice gain of 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you.
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And what an effort on the final play of regulation. All zeros on the clock, and we are headed to OT. Well, the entire 2015 season featured no ties in the National Football League, but we get one here in the 2016 season, don't we?
Yeah, and it's really odd because to go through the whole and not have that happen because teams tend to get a little more conservative at times when you get to overtime. That's why the ties often result. But as you said, in 2015, not at all. But here we are here. Have one going.
By the way, the last tie, if you're scoring with us at home, and if you are, God bless you. October 2014, the Bengals and the Panthers in Cincy, they tied 37 apiece.
Did you have that one yourself, or did you get that one from Marvin?
No, I was taking a nap. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. The drive begins with a run by Forsett. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Yards left for the offense. It's second down. First OT toss coming for Joe Flacco. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Ben Watson was the intended target. Third down here.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. Third down, Flacco from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Sam Cook now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now part 1 is done, now part 2. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses. And now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
And they'll be in search of 11 yards here on third down. On third down, Roethlisberger. Oh, so close but incomplete. Could have been a big turnover in overtime if he'd held on. Instead, though, it's 4th down. Well, he just threw an interception last drive, nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of the difference between driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? So that's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love them.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored, that's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Second down, Flacco now. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind to beat guys to the football, and getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.